What's going on, guys? What's going on? I haven't even been able to sleep last night. I had so much on my mind right now, and I am trying to make sure I stay in the right state of mind going through things. I have an instance going on, and it brings to mind about the young ladies and putting themselves in positions with young men that aren't very honorable and making sure that your girls are protected. Sometimes when the father isn't around, kids are very susceptible to looking for or finding a male figure that they can coincide with or somebody that's going to make them have a little masculine energy in their circumference. So they'll take in and cling to people just for that reason. So it's very, very important for men to play a role in their girls' lives, just like the boys. A lot of times we hear them saying, a son needs his father. The women need their father just as much or more to know that they have protection, to know that they are able to confide in somebody that is going to be there to give them the proper advice and show them the things not to be involved in, not to get themselves into when it comes to young men or certain things that are going on. Um, Young ladies, a lot of times, will get involved in these relationships and you won't even know they're in an abusive relationship. They become um, a part of things that they see is okay. They see things from their friends. A lot of them, they think that it's cute. Oh, he's jealous, this, and that. High vibes, sis. What's going on, sis? Yeah. Just want to jump up here real quick to, advise on these young ladies not having, I guess, enough confidence in themselves to worry about or dedicate themselves to the things that are going on with them. A lot of them have so many talents, so many things they could be focused on, but in the meantime, they have other entities that come in to take them off of the path that they need to be on or to throw them off their game. So when it comes to that, the women need to be very astute to the fact that young ladies seek other attention, and it's not necessarily about a sexual thing or anything of that nature. It's about that masculine energy that they may be lacking. And I think it's very pertinent or important that any male figure in the family plays a role with young ladies, advising them on things to look for with other young men, advising them of certain things that are not beneficial for them. So I'm really feeling some type of way. My daughter was a part of something um, with a abusive relationship as a young lady. I didn't even know anything about it. She was involved with a young guy, and she was like 19 almost at the time. And there's some things going on I wasn't aware of. And when she did make me aware of it, it was just kind of crazy. She had an incident, and now there's something going on with her behind uh, this young guy putting hands on my daughter. He's really good thing that we have some stronger people in our family that are not um allowing other entities to come in and cause interference in other ways. It was very, very, very hard for me not to allow my son and my nephews to put hands on this young man, which he may have deserved it, but just to allow other things to take control of it. He had some issues going on, and with him getting caught up in that, he was actually locked up. Karma. You know how karma happens. Putting me in a position of explaining to my daughter the type of person that you want to be around or being with. You can't tell young people what to do or how to do things when they're growing into themselves, but the advisement and putting certain things into their ear as they're growing is definitely the one step that can assist them. Me being the person that has so many, wow, my son, his girlfriend verbally abusive. Wow, says, yeah, that's real. That's another one. That's definitely another one. And a lot of times that verbal says, great day, beautiful. How you guys doing? The way that they will go into certain um I don't know if it's like because they're feeling a way, they want to put those particular feelings on someone else. Great day, brother. Great day. They want to put those feelings on other persons. They may be frustrated. They may be having some things going on personally. They may be, have grown up in an environment where this is what they saw, the things that they seek as far as getting questions answered, by demanding, using physical means to get there, so on and so forth. Yeah, this incident now this is 2 years ago when this incident happened. My daughter definitely learned, to be a little more selective with people that she associates herself with. Because you can't control people, you can't control their actions, you can't control the way that they are, the way they're raised, or any of these things. A lot of times in relationships, getting involved with people, friends, relationships, or so on and so forth, people get involved because they feel sorry for a person. They feel like this person has had a lot of things going on and they want to be there for them. And, people just don't understand them because they've been through so much. So having a caring heart, or wearing your heart on your sleeve, as they say, is something that can make a person a victim. And this has happened with my baby. She's a very sweet, sweet person. She has a soft heart. And being that she was taken advantage of by someone, was really hurtful to me. It was very hard for me not to react in other ways. So even though I don't like dealing with the law, I definitely enforced something when it came to that. It was either that or my son and nephews would take things into their hands. So I chose to do that, just to, handle the situation. Now it's been 2 years. Sad to say, I wish I would have let him, because now my daughter's dealing with an issue with her eye. This idiot actually punched my baby in her eye. She's like 120 pounds, like 5'4". Like, really, for you to even be putting your hands on her was really ridiculous and ignorant. And now she's going through something with her eye, and from this injury, and it's been almost 2 years. So here she's dealing with something that we thought was like over with, and it's come back up. So, Grand Risings, brother, greatness to you. So, what we got to do, guys, is make sure that we are getting our kids to a place where they feel very confident. Even if they are, a soft-hearted person, it's okay to care for people. It's okay to, think about the things that would help put people in a better place. But if you're not considering yourself and knowing that these people aren't of your caliber, I have to say that, they don't come from the same background. They don't have the self conflict that you may have. They don't have the things that give them certain moral character or values of, the person that they are. Not being raised the correct way, so on and so forth. I know this particular young man, that this incident with my daughter, he lives with his grandmother, was raised by his grandmother, so no parents around, elderly person. They have problems sometimes, especially with younger men. Um, she actually met the guy, I guess, at school. She'd known him for a while, friend of hers, and he was in a neighborhood that wasn't all that great. We know how some environments can influence people, and my children are very non-judgmental, lot like their mom. So, it's never been like I guess, a caliber thing, as far as a place or a position or, the type of people that you put yourself with. We do have to be in an environment of like-minded, like souls. When people don't have the same type of thinking or moral values or moral character, there's something going on with the inside of that person that may not coincide with you. I think it's really important, guys, to discuss and talk about this with young ladies. If you have a young woman, I don't know if you guys have had any of these issues go on or what have you, but I think it's very important to talk to young ladies and make sure that they know of certain things they're not putting themselves in the positions of. Knowing that, you've encouraged them is at least the battle. I've raised my children the best way that I have, been raised, the type of things or the moral characters that my mom's and my grandmother. taught me, the things I learned from my dad. You know, there are certain things that we know and we just grow into, and we will teach them to our kids. But that doesn't mean that they won't alter off of that path. That doesn't mean that they can be pulled into another journey by other means of things that aren't beneficial to them. So we have to make sure that we are guiding them consistently. Thinking that you've raised the person or showed them a certain thing, that doesn't mean that they're not going to make mistakes. They're not going to put themselves in positions that will not be healthy for them, or other people around them. Because right now, even though I thought I had, gotten that situation forgiven in my heart, knowing that, people go through certain things and, sometimes people put themselves in position, of dealing with things, and then things happen. So they have to take half the blame. So I kind of accepted this. But now, after this incident with finding out that there's something else going on with my daughter behind something 2 years ago, I'm like almost ready to take a flight to New York. I really am, handle some things. So I'm really trying to be in my right mind right now, because even though I try to think very spiritually, I can be very, very, very carnal minded when it comes to my children and protecting them. And right now, I wouldn't even need my son and nephews to do anything, because I could put hands on somebody, and not only hands, but something else. So I'm really feeling the type of way. So I have to get my mind right and make sure that I'm thinking of the things that are astute to me staying in a stable place, so that I can be stable in my mind to actually get my daughter through what she's going to go through. This is very hurtful to her. She was upset. She's like, I'm always being nice to people and this, and that. Why this happened to me? Da, 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 da. She was so upset yesterday. And, I had to tell her about, not being so trusting of people or loving people, in a way that you're open to allowing them, to actually, have a part of your life if they don't really deserve it. Friends, relationships, it doesn't matter, whatever's going on. And it's like my baby has, she's a lot like me when I was young. She has a sweetheart, and because of that, people think that she's stupid or ignorant. Like they can do certain things, say certain things, or treat her a certain way. And, it's a lot like her mom. She's a little firecracker. She gets really upset. She can go at it with her words, and that mouth could probably upset a person or two. But still does not give a person a reason to put any hands on a 5'4", 120 pound little bitty person, especially a man that's 19 years old, I believe he was at the time, but she was 18, 19. So yeah, he was about 20. So at the time, there's so much going on, and we don't think about these things other than like getting a person out of the situation, trying to make sure that they are, I guess, doing better with their choices, so on and so forth. But you can't make choices for people. The only thing I wanted to say is that you have to be very careful in what you're doing with your girls. Making sure you're watching in these relationships and friendships and these guys or whatever they're dealing with, especially when they're young. They think, oh, I'm growing and I'm grown, and I know how to make decisions or choices. We have to still guide our kids when they think they're grown. you know, I still, my 30-year-old, she still calls me for certain advice and guidance and help with things. So, I don't think that they can be too old to get the advice of a parent. They can be too old to get guidance from a parent or an elder, in their generation. So, we just need to make sure that we're influencing our kids. I don't think that people influence the kids enough. I don't think that we're paying attention a lot of times because we're so busy in this life, so many things that are going on that we can't even focus sometimes on the things in front of us. So I just think it's important to pay attention to those things and make sure we are noting what's going on in our family, with our children, so on and so forth, and being able to make sure we're guiding them correctly. If you have young men in your household, make it very important that you don't put hands on a young lady. If she's doing something that is not comfortable for you, you make sure that you get out of the way, and make sure that you can, um, take yourself out of the situation instead of impositioning yourself or anyone else. So I just think it's very important that we teach our children about the safety of others. You never know what can happen when putting hands on a person. something can get broken, a person can fall, all types. It can make other people want to put hands back on you, all kind of stuff. It can make other people want to do other things that they won't talk about legally for those reasons and stuff like that. Because me, I can get a little upset when it comes to my children, especially my baby girl. So all I wanted to say real quick, guys, this wasn't for anything long. I didn't want to chat a lot. I just wanted to bring this to the attention of anybody that might be in the earshot. Be very careful. Make sure you are talking to your girls and knowing what's going on in the relationships. People always say, "Oh, you can't be friends with your kids." Definitely not friends because they're still your child or your children. But you have to have a friendly nature with your kids where they feel comfortable to come talk to you about anything and they won't hide things from you and they'll come and tell you if they're in situations that they don't know how to get out of, so on and so forth. So I just think that's very important. It's very important for us to make sure that we are guiding these young men and letting them know how to be a man, even if it's a young man that is not your child. If they are in your environment, a family member, a close friend, make sure that you are putting your influence out there to guide these young men into better people, so on and so forth as well. So yeah, I'm just feeling away this morning. Jumped up here to put this out there because I think it's important. A lot of times, young people don't talk about these things. They're either embarrassed or they think it's nothing until it turns into something serious where they get hurt or something, and then they'll, let you know what's going on. So pay attention to your children. Make sure you know what's going on, and make sure you're watching, the type of people that they are around and helping them to make better choices. Everyone's gonna have their own choice and selection, but when you have proper guidance, it could definitely put you in a better place. So I don't know. That's kind of all I wanted to say. I couldn't even do my show yesterday due to the amount of stress I was under after going to this appointment with my baby yesterday. So, yeah, there's a lot going on, and we just have to be aware that sometimes things go to work against you, and you got to stay strong and handle things the best way that you can. So, just wanted to say that, guys, domestic violence is a horrible thing. If you know anyone that is involved with it, make sure you can, talk to them if they're a close person, letting them know that things detrimental can happen just in a split second when the person gets angry, so on and so forth. So, just be very careful of that. All right, guys, peace, love, and I'm out.